oil has allowed me to really change the scale, but also keep the work feeling light. This work starts out with me being sort of interested in a shape and an idea, a motion, a movement.
People present themselves in ways where you may make an assumption of what they're like, but their internal experience may be very different.
When you talk about Montana as an influence, like this is kind of like a snapshot of it. A lot of my stuff's environmental, political, and social art.
I think about my parents and the way that I could just watch how they drew. It was so amazing.
And I like using the wall as my pedestal. You kind of don't know what's behind it and what kind of pipe system is built into the wall.
So I'm kind of recording these animals or creatures and thinking that maybe in the future they won't be around anymore, and these pieces are recording their presence.
I think that the history validates the community and is giving something for all of these sort of really new hopping people, a place to stand on.
The squishy, feely, touchy, tactile, which potters love. They love I was trained as a potter, and potters love that, fire and smoke and all that stuff going on.
I want it to be difficult to build when I'm building, for me, because there's part of me that's a real craftsman and builder, and I want that challenge in the studio.
I grew up in Kansas through rows and rows of milo and rows of corn. I really love repetition. The repetition of making the form, repetition of carving, all of those things become, an important part of my process.
Functional pots you hold in your hands and you touch to your lips and you put in the sink. There is still that interaction in that relationship. It's a very different kind of relationship than dealing with art in a museum.
I'm always interested in how people are perceived, how things are perceived, these kind of cultural oddities, whether it be an Asian thing or whether it be kind of Western culture integrated into that. And I think a lot of it has to do with my own upbringing.
I've been working with images of children for a long time, and pretty much since my own child was born, what it's like to be a parent and what it's like to watch a child grow.
If I live long enough to see the last nuclear weapon on Earth dismantled and true universal peace, I'll be glad to stop the social commentary stuff and spend the rest of my life, just doing nudes.
Perception of the present is just a sum of our senses. I perceive you as being here now because your light image hits my eye so quickly. The stars are hitting my eye, but that light is a million years old.
The functional object part has always been really important to me. And this new work that I just started in October is the first work I've ever had that didn't have a functional component, which was kind of unexpected.
So when they started coming out with these wonderful fluorescent bulbs that are so cool to the touch, experimenting with it, the first pieces were really small, and then as I learned to build with it, they got bigger and bigger and bigger.
I threw them without a bottom, so then I oval them right away, and then they're cut. There's a dart here where these are.
I think there is some magic to clay that just catches people on fire, that there's something seductive about the material. There's a variety of challenges. You have to understand material, you have to gain skill and knowledge about what the clay can do and what the right wetness or dryness. You have to understand glaze materials and chemistry and then firing. There's just so many aspects of it that being someone, I guess, like me who had dabbled in lots of things, I found myself right at home